ski lifts in the region. And we have 21 info points, so tourist offices spread all over the region. And that's why we have to do a lot of promotion to welcome the tourists in our region. Una Regione per Tutti is the project on accessible tourism that we are developing since 2015. In 2015, we signed the first agreement with the association, the Regional Association of People with Disabilities. So for us, it was important to find a supporter, a partner who knew about accessibility. We know about tourism, but not about accessibility. So that's why, since 2015, we work daily with people with disabilities, with the associations, with the tourism provider services, with professional tourism, but also, as it's important, we work a lot with municipalities and also with the residents for all the projects that we develop. The CRIBA is the technical office of the Consulta, and they helped us to mapping the region. Mapping is one of the most important activities we are doing from the beginning. Here you have a timeline where you can see some of the projects that we developed during the years. And we did a lot of things. As I told you, the mapping, so collecting data from the territory for us is very, very important. And all this data, so we go on the territory, we visit hotels, restaurants, itineraries, museums, cultural sites, religious sites, natural sites, and all these data that we collect are put in our website dedicated to accessible tourism, that is Friuli Venezia Giulia per Tutti. There, if you can find a page for each site mapped, and inside you can find hundreds and hundreds of data as pictures, measures, everything, because it's important for us to give the information. We have to promote, but we have to give the correct and the real information. That's why our website is very important. One of the projects that we just finished was A-Mare il Mare. A-Mare il Mare in Italian, it's a joke, because A-Mare is to love, and mare is sea. So in Italian, it's better than in English, I'm sorry. And it has been a very, very important project for us, because we could do a lot of activities on the coastal area. So we involved the 8 municipalities of the coastal areas. So big cities as Trieste, that is one of the most important cities in our region, but also little villages as Marano, as Staranzano, that they don't have, for example, seaside resorts, but they have beautiful itineraries in the nature. And just a little video so you can see our territory. We work with the Consulta and the associations of the Consulta, so we work on all disabilities. It's always very emotional for me to see this video because people, the persons who see in the video are not actors, are people from our associations, and many of them are friends. So it's very, very nice because they wanted to promote the region, and so they did it. And so 18 months to develop this, project. Just a few words about the impacts. We could map 733 places. Sorry, it's not 73 and 3, but it's 733 places. So 733 pages on our website, new pages. And we had the opportunity also to buy special bikes and tandems, raise sunbeds, sand and sea and job chairs, so we could help many of the seaside resorts stakeholders, and walkways, and also accessible cabins. We had a very, very important training program because we wanted to involve many different targets, not only guides, professional guides, but we wanted also to involve lifeguards, teachers, so the schools, and not only for an approach into the accessible tourism, but we organized also many specific trainings, promotional materials, leaflets, brochures, events, open days. They were very, very important because so people with disability could taste the experiences that we map. Fun trip, we have here one ambassador of our fun trip, Gerda. She came to Friuli Venezia Giulia, and so we had beautiful days together, and we could try many things also together. The next challenge, we did it once in the sea, in the coastal area, and the next challenge is a new project for the mountains area. It's very, very challenging because here we have 2 seasons, summer and winter, and the territory is more vast than the other one. And we have in this previous project we had 8 municipalities. Here we have about 25 municipalities, but we are sure we could work with them. And we involved also the local administrations, the local associations, ski teachers, all the realities that can have a role and can offer a touristic product. This is the area, as you can see, is quite vast, and it's on the mountains, so it will be really, really difficult. We will have the opportunity also in this case to do some to buy some equipments, and so we are now speaking with the schools of skiing for the typology, and we are mapping the needs of the territory. We will do promotion, mapping, and training as in the other project. So that's it. Nothing else. I just want to invite you to our region. See you in Friuli Venezia Giulia, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Alessia. Maybe we can take a few questions if you have for her.
Oh my gosh.
Hello, thank you. I have a question about the ski teachers. Do they teach ski for all types of disabilities or not?
We have many teachers that already had a specialization for different disabilities, especially motorial disabilities and blind people. We are now organizing for this winter a course for new teachers because we want to enlarge this availability.
And for deaf people, it doesn't exist?
We are
Or-
now we are having we are speaking with the regional association of deaf people because we don't know how to do this, and so we are mapping the needs. So this is what I mean when I say.
Okay,
But
thank you.
yes, the goal is to have all disabilities in the course.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
you're welcome.
No, it's important for the.
Okay. Hello. I'm a PhD candidate and I'm doing research in mountain tourism, accessible tourism in the mountain areas.
Okay, so I need your contact.
Yes. I wanted to ask you, are you planning to adapt some of tourist routes in mountain areas to people with disabilities, mostly locomotory disabilities? Were you thinking about it? Does the project include it?
Yes. Yes, the project includes the mapping of the whole area. So we have religious path and naturalistic reserves, parks and areas. So we will map them. And the goal is to find at least 5, 6 accessible paths for motory disability and also blind people. We will see what we would, but yes, sure.
Okay, thank you. So this first presentation shows us the first challenge in the nature with the seasonal question. You have to deal with some projects in the winter and some projects in the summer, which are different.
Yes, it will be very, very challenging because it's a completely different offer. So we will start as soon as possible with the mapping for winter. Really, we started with the mapping of the ski lifts this summer because we wanted to know how is the ski lift in summer. And now we are waiting for the snow because it will be completely, it will change. And yes, so different sports, different experiences, different activities. So we have 2 years to complete the project. So finger crossed, and we will do our best.
We see you in 2 years in the next summit.
Okay, that's a problem.
And the other thing really interesting, I think, is the fact that you work with people with disabilities and the fact that they were really proud of their destination and wanted to promote it themselves was really interesting to me. And I was thinking maybe it's a good question for the next awards on accessibility, European Accessibility Awards. Would you be able to make the promotion of your own city to the people with disabilities? Because this is always people that are evaluating. They are not the people that they are living there. So that's a really good approach, I think.
Yes, I think that we have this approach from the beginning, and we wanted to work with people with disabilities, and I think we did a very good job. I'm looking at Paula, she's a colleague of mine, and Brenda, they work with me. And it's important because we created, from the beginning, we created a group, and we meet once a month or every 2 months, and with people with disabilities and together, and they represent different associations. So we have blind people, deaf people, all the associations, and together we decide what to do, which is the next project, which is the next activity, what we can do, we need. And that's why I say that they are friends, because after 10 years, they are friends.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So now we go from mountains to the beaches with the project that Katerina and Johann will present us. Katerina Papamichail is from Greece. She's a Greek architect and an expert in accessibility. and accessible tourism. She's a founding and board member of ENAT, the European Network for Accessible Tourism, and she has over 30 years of experience designing inclusive environments. And Johann, he is born in France, but he's living now in Denmark. He's the international director of the Blue Flag program at the Foundation of Environmental Education. And you will present this Blue Flag Beaches Award Scheme and the Greek Beaches for Everyone National Operational Investment Program.
Thank you so much, Mathieu. All right, good afternoon. All right, second day, time is passing fast. So I'll try to be brief, but not too brief. And I would like to thank very much the organization for having us, having the foundation. I had the pleasure to be here at the conference in 2018 and to continue the collaboration with ENAT. So I'm Johann, I'm the International Director for the Blue Flag Program. I work for the Foundation for Environmental Education. We are an international non-profit organization based in Denmark, but we work with national organizations, in vast majority NGOs as well. We have over 100 members in over 80 countries. For the Blue Flag Program, we work in over 50 countries with the program fully implemented in these countries and more countries in the implementation phase. The Blue Flag is well known for a certification program for a flag flying over a beach, a marina, or through tourism boat-based operations. You may know it under Blue Flag, you may know it under Bandera Blue, Bandera Azul, Blauw Flag, Blauw Vlee, Pavillon Bleu, and in Greek? Exactly. So that's how we butcher multiple languages in few seconds. Point is, we work in, so far I counted over 30 different languages, meaning that culture is very, very important in the program. I'm very happy to be here because accessibility is an important component of the program, but it comes with different expertise. Most of our objectives, it is to bring sustainable tourism, a holistic framework for the local level. As Jane Goodall recently said once, think global but act local. And that's what we do at the international level, working from the science to policy to actions at the ground level. I'm not gonna read my slides, so please read them. I'm gonna go freestyle, don't worry. That's what we stand for. We are working with different frameworks as well, because Foundation for Environmental Education, that's what we've been created for, to promote education towards sustainable development, but based with many different partners and different frameworks. Of course, the SDGs, we're working with UN Tourism on the climate action for the tourism sector. What is important, of course, SDGs 10 and 11 are very important for us. I'd like to focus on SDG 17, partnerships for the goal, and that's also why I'm here, and why I will be in Venice next week to support another partner, ICOMIA, organizing the World Marina Conference over there. That's my point. So what we do by building strong sets of criteria, and we'll be talking about our internal revision taking place at the moment with the support of ENAT, multiple times a year as part of the certification process, but also to advance and advocate for different themes of the components of the program. We bring international partners around the table, bringing the objectives of ENAT and the accessible tourism with UN Tourism, with the UN Environment Program, with UNESCO about education, with IUCN about conservation of ecosystems, for example. It is great to talk about accessibility and tourism, but we need to also to protect the environment, so there is actually something to see over there. And that's also part of the business plan of many tour operators working on accessible tourism, that it is great to provide services and infrastructure, but protecting actually what's going there is important and will be more and more. That's why we're working internally at the moment on climate action solutions for adaptation and mitigation solutions for the tourism sector, local municipalities, destinations, and of course, accessibility. So this is a picture that was taken last year. We have every year international jury members joining us to award the sites. The foundation, we are facilitating, organizing the criteria, but we are lucky to have this consortium of international experts joining us and taking the decisions for the sites and advising us on what to do about either the applications or in terms of policy frameworks. I will talk a little bit about the memorandum of understanding. You can read, I'm not going to read that slide, but I'm going to give you the genesis of the partnership with ENAT, which is very important to me. We've been partnering with UN Tourism we have an MOU with UN Tourism for at least 20 years, 25 years. And about 10 years ago, our colleague at UN Tourism came back to us and like, your questions about accessibility, it's becoming too complicated for us. Just bring another expert. And that's how the collaboration with ENAT has started. I think it was 2015 or 2016, something like that. And this is why we're pleased to have Katerina and Ivor advising us on accessible tourism for the local sites, but also for the future. At the moment, and I'm also here to tell you that we're not far from perfect. And accessibility within the blue flag has been across many components. So we're talking about education, we're talking about bathing water quality, life-saving, you basically name it. But accessibility so far for the beach set of criteria or the marinas and the tourism-based operations, we're doing what we can, pushing municipalities to actually invest. If they don't like it or they don't want to promote accessible tourism, at least do it for the blue flag. It comes with a button, but it comes with a carrot as well. So if we can influence as well investment and work at local level, bringing everybody around the table, the education team, local association for accessibility to talk and to actually implement what matters, that's what we strive for. So our points with the internal revision taking place at the international level, and thanks to ENAT for a very strong and important set of recommendations received for the future. That's what we want to develop and hopefully go public as soon as possible. So working on universal access, looking at also compromises between the environment and what can be done. I'm going to give you an example. We do care absolutely about accessibility. What I'm thinking about, for example, climate adaptation on local sites. Well, preserving dunes, in some cases, will protect your coastline. So how do you think potentially on developing full accessibility on a specific site and not necessarily on all sites? This is a compromises, and that comes also, for example, UN Environment Program, or that could come from IUC. And so protecting the environment hand in hand on providing the best services for people with disabilities or not. That's what we are looking at. That can be families, that can be seniors. That's what we are looking at. So my job is at the end of the day also to cut a compromise to make, if nobody is happy, then it's a good compromise. But we actually trying to accommodate the best we can, surrounding us with experts. So I will go quickly about good practices. We've been, of course, working on pictograms. We need to work on better information, be it physically or also digitally. There are many sessions about digital information that's very important, and that's what we are working on internally as well, pushing local municipalities, marinas, small businesses to work on their digital information that even before going on site to know if it's possible, if it's doable, if it's worth going there. Some very quick examples in Turkey with some specific activities, good practices for the blind community. We've got in Morocco at the blue flag side with specific sports areas and beach activities developed, and education as well. And then some activities in Ireland as well. But I'll go fast because I would like to leave the floor to Katerina.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Just to say that we are very happy in it. We're very happy and very pleased to work together with the Blue Flag International. We do great work together, and they're really people that they listen and they want to work and make progress and make improvements. So we are very, very pleased that we can contribute to their great work. So now I will try and present briefly the Greek National Operational Program, Beaches for Everyone. That's our program, and let's see, sorry, there was, anyway, there is a video to show you in the next slide. So just to say the connection about the blue flag beaches, in 2025, Greece secured the second place worldwide in blue flag accessibility award scheme, with 657 recognized blue flag sites, including 623 beaches, 17 marinas, and 17 sustainable tourism boats. Of course, this is not very surprising because in Greece, we have about 14,000 coastline. So we have many beaches and we work on this. Many of these blue flag beaches are included in the Greek project, Beaches for Everyone, which is under the National Program Competitiveness and Innovation 2014-2020, which is extended to 2025. The overall aim of the project is to create a comprehensive and accessible tourist destination which allow all visitors, regardless of mobility limitations, to enjoy Greek beaches with safety, comfort, and dignity. And at the same time, the project contributes to strengthening the health and wellness tourism, attracting all the visitors and enhancing the sustainable tourism development of the country. The action is addressed to the municipalities of the country, aiming to create accessible beaches for persons with disabilities and others with limited mobility, and to develop and supply suitable lightweight, non-permanent infrastructure and devices for the autonomous access of persons with disabilities to the sea and non-permanent auxiliary facilities in the wider area of the beaches. So it's not the access only to the sea, but it's the wider area in the swimming area. So the eligible expenditures include access from the road network to each intervention point, which is the beach, removable changing rooms, portable sanitary facilities, accessible pathways of appropriate length for easy transport and storage during the winter season, and areas for shade and protection of bathers. The intervention should be accordance, of course, with the environmental and other relevant legislation. And also another obligation is information signs must be placed to inform visitors about the parts of the beach that are accessible, the sanitary areas, etc., etc. The financial conditions, the initial budget program is of 15 million, funded by the euros, funded by the European Union Regional Development Fund and national resources. Every municipality, there is, one application per municipality, and they have to include up to 4 different beaches. And the maximum budget for each beach is 6,000 euros. So let's see if I can play this. That's the video for the beaches. So to make the beaches accessible, in order to enter the sea, there are 2 devices that they help to make this program become true. The first, it was an innovative solution, Sea-Track, which was invented after a disabled person who used to be a great swimmer went to the University of Patras, which is a large city in Greece, and he simply said, I'm very tired to have friends to carry me like a sack in the beach and everybody looking at me. Can you do something about me to go independently and swim with my friends? And they made this because they heard him and they tried to put their skills down and the knowledge, and they created the CITRAC, which is an innovative ramp for people with mobility impairments, enable them to enter the sea from the beach and back and enjoy a simple leisure activity, such as swimming, and be just happy. It is comprised of a fixed track mechanism, as you see, in which a seat can be moved in and out of the water, and with a remote control, the user can activate this. It uses solar energy, and this is the only power source, and the equipment can be removed in winter. This is only, as I said before, is not only just a device, but they require accessible parking, the path to the beach, accessible WC, changing rooms, showers, and shading areas. So along with the CITRAC, that was the big success. Yes, it was another. Now we have another device, the C-Access, which is another device moving towards a more inclusive world, as they say. It's a built-in folded ramp with the two motors and special balloon wheels, moves easily across the sand. It can be installed and got ready for use in just a few minutes, and it supports the swimmers to go and swim independently. So these solutions and all this program in Greece, we can't say it's a universally designed project because it considers only the people with physical impairments. They didn't make anything about, for example, blind users, but we think we can really improve it and go forward. The focus was in the mobility impaired people. We know it's the most demanding group because they require more devices and space and so on. So the goal is universal design process, good access, because good access, we say, benefits all visitors. Just concluding the recommendations: improve information about beach access and services, publish an access guide. This is what we do also with the blue flag, publish the information about accessibility, apply national or international accessibility standards wherever possible, aim beyond the standards and achieve excellence in service, and follow examples of good practice. And concluding, accessible beaches give a competitive advantage to destinations, attract more visitors and local citizens, provide better service for all, support exercise, physical and mental health, appreciation of nature, inspire, motivate local service providers and other stakeholders and businesses, and contribute to inclusive, sustainable development for people, places, and the planet. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, both of you. Do you have questions for our speakers, Johann and Katerina? So I have maybe one. You said that there is a program with a budget of millions. How many, maybe not a million, or how many projects have been already selected and supported?
I don't know this number. I don't, sorry, I don't know this number, but very many, because the two companies that they provide, CITRAC initially, and now C-Access, they really help the municipalities to apply and get the funding. And we have many beaches, many that I said, the 600 something to 23 blue flag beaches, many of those are accessible. So we have many beaches that are not also blue flag beaches, but I don't know exactly the number. Okay. I can find out and tell you.
Okay, thank you. And Johann, one other for you. Is this program blue flag voluntary, or some countries have written this in their legislation as an obligation?
That's a very good question. It is fully voluntary. We're not forcing any organization to join the blue flag. What is interesting from my point of view is that even before having one blue flag site in a country, it takes a minimum of 2 to 3 years working with a national organization to implement the program. Because when we start implementing the program, we start helping the organization creating relationships and partnerships with ministries, tourism, education, environment, national life-saving organizations, accessibility organizations, with the help of our international partners. It's all voluntary. It means as well that it takes a great courage from mayorships, and also which sometimes goes against technical teams because it's sometimes more work, but it works. It's also an internal framework of sustainable management within the organizations. So it's a thing to either not reapply the blue flag because we're not, it's not an obligation, but it's also difficult to lose it because local communities will ask for it again. Mm-hmm. To actually answer your questions, it's not written in the law per se, as far as I know, because we are working across 50 countries. I can tell you that in Puerto Rico, the law says that if there must be one environmental certification for beaches, it must be blue flag.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you very much. So another question I will give. So now we'll talk about the accessibility and ecology in the natural environment with Maud Dupuis, who's a designer and founder of Polymorphe Design, a consultancy specialized in accessibility for cultural and tourism sites. She will share a story of an inclusive forest trail designed to balance accessibility with environmental preservation. So you have the floor.
Thank you. So in terms of project management, over the years, I have specialized in projects that improve accessibility to nature and protected natural areas in particular. These are some examples of my project. All these development projects have a conflicting double injunction, making nature more accessible while preserving the same natural environment. This raising a question for me in a context of climate change and the search for sustainable and rational development in all fields of activity. Is preserving natural environment and remarkable landscapes that under threat always compatible with welcoming the public? I will attempt to answer these questions with an example of a development project carried out in a forest, the Palace of King Oak, le Palais du Roi Chêne. Who is behind this project? The Coastal Conservation Agency is a public institution. Its mission is to acquire plots of coastal land threatened by urbanizations or damage in order to restore, develop, and make them accessible while respecting the natural balance. The Coastal Conservation Agency has acquired forest plots on the shore of Lake Orient to create a trail accessible to all. The aim is to make this natural space accessible to wheelchair users in complete autonomy with minimal impact on the forest environment. The first step in the project is to choose the exact location. For the site to be attractive to the public, it must be easily accessible. Already, there is an existing park house, which is an information center. It is already well-known and popular. It is signaled on road signs and already appears on road maps and tourist maps. The park house has a parking lot. Furthermore, a new bike path runs along this parking lot. Many hike trails start from this parking lot. There are short, medium, and long distance trails. 500 meters is a family-friendly animal park, which is committed to and known for its accessibility for people with reduced mobility. This site's established popularity is an interesting factor to attract further hikers to the trail through a synergy effect. The presence of a parking lot, a drinking fountain, a barn for shelter in case of rain, and toilets are strong arguments for choosing these sites. Indeed, sharing these facilities means fewer new developments are needed. This saves money in terms of investment, operating costs, and maintenance, but also has a major environmental impact as it makes turning new area into artificial spaces unnecessary. The plots offer contemplative and educational value. The forest is home to many botanical species, such as very large oaks and a rich variety of flora and fauna. Visitors can also learn about the various types of forest management from one plot to another. The Grand Orient Forest is also home to a very large badger set. Little known for the public, they are of educational interest in explaining the habitat of the badger and raising awareness of wildlife protections. It is tempting, easy even, to show them to the public and make them the mascot of the trail, which should be called the Badger Trail. But bringing the public close to these badger sets has consequences. Some people will inevitably stray from the path, even if there are signs prohibiting it. It is only a minority, but it is enough to cause damage to the tunnels. Even respectful visitors generate noise and odor pollutions by being within a few dozen meters from the badger living areas. And walkers' dogs can prevent badgers from reproducing, as the stress caused by their barking leads to a change in the wild animal's behavior. Furthermore, unlike wild animals, domestic animals are vaccinated and can carry viruses that are not naturally present in the wild. These combined factors will lead badgers to seek another site in the very short term. Depending on the season, this forced relocation could have a significant impact on the birth rate in the entire badger colony. In this project, the managers took several strong and deliberate measures to protect the environment. The one and the first and the principal, the presence of the badger sets is not mentioned to the public and no trails pass nearby. This means that a specific feature of the site is deliberately kept from the visitors. Strict instructions are given regarding the control of dogs, including guide dogs and assistant dogs. During the wildlife breeding season, dogs must be kept on leash. Such choices may seem trivial, but they restrict visitors' freedom. This means that such a project is only possible with strong local involvement from elected officials, local partners, and managers. Several plots of forest are under considerations for the trail. Their topography and soil type are checked in order to select the plot that will require the least amount of development. This will limit investment and maintenance cost, but also the ecological impact. Finally, we ensure that there is no protected fauna and flora. The chosen plot contains oak trees at different stages of growth, young oaks, mature oaks, dead wood, like an actual gallery of portraits of the oak dynasty. This gave rise to the idea of the Palace of King Oak. With the creations of the trail, the aims are the following: give everyone access to nature, raise awareness of environmental issues. This is not a fitness trail, but an access to nature. A 1-hour outing is planned. The environmental awareness features must be present and accessible to all. It should be as appealing as possible. We chose for a loop at less than 1 kilometer. Based on an initial draft layout, a topographical survey is requested from a surveyor, including details of the vegetation. A more precise route is then drawn on the map. The trail starts at the parking lot. A car-free zone is created. The trail crosses the bike path. Maximum visibility of the crossing is ensured, and measures are devised to slow down cyclists. The entrance to the forest goes through a natural opening between two majestic trees. The trail leads to a first clearing only 50 meters from the parking lot. This clearing design will be designed for the most vulnerable visitors who will not go further. A 750-meter loop starts and ends at the clearing. It allows visitors to explore the Oak King's palaces by following the large majestic tree. On the grounds, we adjust the path to bypass wet areas and certain ferns, but also to avoid the root systems of large trees. The trail twists and turns. We completely submit to nature. The following key principles were followed during constructions. A construction schedule based on natural cycles, I mean natural cycles, plant and animal cycles, rather than the agenda of elected officials. A construction site that remains strictly within the path limit. A covering of a slightly excavated ground to minimize the impact of the development on the forest floor. We have made sure that the trail remains reversible by choosing raw materials, wood and stone with low environmental impact, no concrete, no technical surfaces, no asphalt. The trail surfaces in draining surface made with geotextile, a base of large stones and a layer of semi-crushed stones. These rocks come from the nearest quarry. The quarry is only 15 kilometers away from the Palace of King Oak, so the trail can be easily repaired by the park's technical services when need be. The wood species were chosen from their technical characteristic as well as for their minimal impact. Oak for the above ground part and black locust for the underground part. Above the trail, sanitary and safety cutting was carried out. The cut wood was reused on site to create hedges, and these hedges make the parking lot invisible from the trail and serve as a real refuge for biodiversity. A guide rope runs along the entire length of the path. It takes the form of a guard stone. It enables visually impaired people to follow the path with a cane. Oops. In accordance with the ecological management plan for the forest, the trail was created to open up the forest to the public and convey educational messages. To be read and understood, these messages must be appealing, short text, not too complex, no eco-anxiety-inducing or guilty-inducing text, and attractive messages. And the forest stood in family of oak trees, small acorns, young oaks, beautiful trees. We could make them talk. Rather than choosing a friendly approach, we preferred empathy. We chose to give voices to the palace's inhabitants through solid oak sculptures. The middle spotted woodpecker welcomed us, along with the other inhabitants, where everyone is portrayed with a poetic and sensitive manner. The quality of the sculptures make them universal, neither childish nor abstract. They speak to everyone. These figurative sculptures invite visitors to touch them. Initially designed for visually impaired visitors, their aesthetic quality is such that they have become a real touristic attraction. The attractions works, the gamble has paid off. Now we need to turn awareness into education. Simple signs harmoniously integrated into the sculptures convey simple messages with clear illustrations, and an easy-to-read version is available on the Park Visitor Center and can be downloaded from the internet. An audio version is available on a terminal in the trail entrance. It can be listened to by turning a dynamo crank. There is also a tactile map of the trail. The creation of a mobile application has considered, in the name of the principle of disconnections, we did not want to introduce a digital element into the educational process. We decided against creating an application dedicated to the Palace of King Oak because of the obsolescence In the end, we kept digital technology only for the following purposes: to highlight existing awareness-raising applications and to present digital tools used by professionals for nature observations. In conclusions, the Palace of King Oak is a 800-meter loop trail accessible to all, inaugurated on May 2023. Ecology and accessibility were considered together rather than separately, resulting in a very coherent trail designed with clarity and common sense. Creating from scratch, visitor counters recorded more than 10,000 visitors in the first year. I invite you to go there and see by yourself.
Thank you very much, Maud. Is there any question for Maud?
Thank you, Maud, for this very interesting presentation. I will be presenting in the next session, so there's a bit of promotion. A project that actually will very much echo what you have just presented, because we have created trails that look very much like this. And one of the challenges we identified is the one with maintenance. What about vandalism, natural degradation? It's been 2 years, and I wanted to know what your experience is. Is it indeed a challenge, and how do you address it? We know it can cost a lot. It can be a real tricky follow-up of the project.
The choice of the career, only 15 kilometers away, technical services can repair by themselves. And there are a lot of visitors, so more people there, much better as the maintenance. So it's and there is a park, the house park, just near to. So there is a surveyor every day is here. So it's still really a good maintenance also.
Thank you. Another question? So you said it was from scratch and opened in May 2023. When did you start? How long did it take?
I didn't start. It's la maîtrise d'ouvrage, on dit.
The responsible.
The responsible, because the first step, I know you know it much than me. You have to find the money to convince the political people, and the coastal agency have to buy the
land.
The land. So my job is only 2 or 3 years, but before me there are several years.
Okay, thank you very much. So now we have our last presentation with Gaia Galeotti from the University of Piemonte Orientale. She holds a master's in environmental and regional economics, and she contributes to research in community engagement and inclusive local development in European projects. And this one, the LIBERVIE project, is a cross-border initiative between Italy and Switzerland, and it promotes inclusive access to cultural heritage. So you will explain that to us.
Yeah. Good afternoon, all. It is an honor and an amazing opportunity to be here, to learn from your experiences, exchange ideas, and have the chance to present our project LIBERVIE, which stands for accessible and inclusive cross-border cultural and literary itineraries. It's a bit long title. And also it's not just focus on access to the environment, but more in general to the territory's heritage, so also the cultural side. Oh, how I go? They're great, okay. Yeah. Well, LIBERVIE is a cross-border cooperation project co-founded by the European Union within the framework of Interregional Italy-Switzerland program. The main project goal
is to enhance the enjoyment of the tangible and intangible heritage of the lakes, mountains, and districts of Ossola and Ticino regions, making it accessible and inclusive. So we are in Piedmont, in the northern side, near to Lake Maggiore. I guess you know it. To achieve this, it involves a large partnership with different academic and practitioner expertise. There is the University of Piemonte Orientale, which I'm representing today, especially the Department of Economics and Business Studies. Then there is the Republic and Cantone of Ticino, in particular the Office for Analysis and Digital Cultural Heritage. We have the local tourism agency of the Lakes Tourism District, the province of Verbano-Cusio-Ossola, and last but not least, the Lake Maggiore Union of Municipalities with its local museum network. So our cooperative alliance is grounded on the strategic premise of design for all and a human-centered approach, which means direct involvement of the end users at every stage of the design process. So mainly people with motor, sensory, and or intellectual disabilities, but also the elderly and young groups. I just wanted to precise that we just began this January. So we have 3 years that will continue through 2027. So we're currently in a pilot phase, which means ongoing experimentation and direct engagement of local communities in order to develop and build a cross-border and accessible system for the territory's heritage. Okay, as I said before, our territorial framework is the cross-border area between the province of Verbano-Cusio-Ossola and Ticino region in Switzerland, so along the Lake Maggiore. LIBERVIE is articulated into 3 different but strictly interrelated work packages, all aimed at fostering joint pathways and reinforcement actions for the inclusive fruition of the cross-border area. So first, we have actions to strengthen and improve access to tangible and intangible heritage, which include information and awareness-raising actions, specifically for the youth groups. Just last week, we officially started the activity with the students from the bachelor's degree in the University of Piemonte Orientale on tourism management and promotion. And they're being engaged in designing in teamworks literary cross-border itineraries that should also integrate accessibility requirements. And this specific activity is more generally related to the implementation of the literary guide of Italian-speaking Switzerland that is edited by the Cultural Observatory of Ticino. And I will go into more details later on. Just to finish with work package 1, there are also included educational tours and training on accessible cultural offers, as well as accessible events in museums and cultural sites involving the Alto Verbano, so the Northern Verbano Museum Network. Then we have actions aimed at implementing accessibility along cross-border cultural and museum itineraries with the translation of tourist videos in Italian Sign Language, and also on-site accessibility evaluation for all Guide to Accessible Paths, which is a tourist guide edited by the Lakes Tourism District, and that this guide will be expanded and enriched by LIBERVIE. Within the measures for the redevelopment and improvement of the cycling path in Fondotoce, there is a special nature reserve and multimedia content. It is also included the creation of a didactic space by redeveloping an area of an existing building that is the Hat Museum in Giffa, as well as the creation of multisensory pathways and tactile devices like 3D models and panels in local art and architectural venues. So as I was mentioning earlier, we have two distinguished publications. On one side, the Literary Guide of Italian-speaking Switzerland, which explores the relationship between the territory and literature within a participatory framework. And on the other side, we have this For All Guide to Accessible Itineraries that is also available in the stand of the Piedmont region. Maybe you see it. And these two guides are intertwined and connected in LIBERVIE project, mainly because we are collecting a geoliterary database on the Italian and Swiss side that would be integrated into open access platforms, because literary heritage is conceived by the project not only as a particular cultural asset, but mostly as a narrative infrastructure able to foster cross-border dialogue, values transmission, and accessible cultural tourism. But also because this data collection is covering the area of For All itineraries, where already tested itineraries, for example, the one interesting Baveno, Fondotoce, and Domodossola, will be further integrated with new sites. And new itineraries, two of them will be also cross-border, like Ascona and Verzasca Valley, will be developed, starting with an initial site reconnaissance and followed by a user-centric validation. And to collect this data, including quotes, sites, and author that have written about the landscape and our project area, we are currently applying a co-design methodology. First, we have structured a participation form with immersive reading feature, allowing every reader to contribute to the literary research. And unfortunately, for now, it's only in Italian, but maybe we'll try to translate it in English. And then all data are stored in an open source collaborative platform that we're still testing with the Office of Ticino. And finally, geo-referenced to complete the literary mapping. And so through scanning this QR code, you will be redirected into the digital platform. Speaking of upgrading accessibility interventions and the implementation of multisensory pathways and tactile devices, so this material measures will involve the Lake Maggiore Union with its local museum network. Here we have an overview of several of the interested sites. We have the, oh, sorry, I have to read this because I don't remember. The Ethnographic Geological Museum of Curro and the Canobina Valley, the Tactile Museum of Natural Science in Trarego Viggiona, the Ethnographic Brush Museum and the Citrus Park that are both located in Cannero Riviera. Last but not least, the project activity related to the development of the cycling path in Fondotoce is being coordinated with the Naturals Area Managing Authority, specifically to avoid disturbing wildlife during the breeding season. And in this area, e-bike, Van Ramvelo Plus, and Hug Bike models will be made available for visitors with physical and also cognitive disabilities. And additionally, immersive multimedia technologies such as augmented or virtual reality will be used to create an educational tours focusing on the naturals area heritage, which is similar to audio guides, but enhanced with visual content to improve the overall visiting experiences. So if you would like to keep following the development and the outcomes of this project in the next 3 years, I will invite you to follow us on our social media channels. We are in Facebook and Instagram. You can reach us by simply typing LIBERVIE Interreg. Now I will leave you with a video that puts together a footage of both natural and cultural heritage of the area, and with some also highlights from the co-design meetings we started to make with the local communities. I should do it again, or maybe? Okay. It's not so short. It's 2 minutes. So maybe. This is Fondotoccio. Thank you.
So thank you, Gaia. Do you have question for Gaia about this project?
Thank you, Gaia. Well, this is half a question, because Gaia represented here today an interregional project, and we are showcasing 16 of those in the poster area, poster 87, if you're interested. There's lots of them on making accessible trails in the mountains. I hear there was some interest over there. And something that I think has come up in the summit over the past 3 days is the word together. So we're making it accessible for everyone, And inter-regional cooperation is really about togetherness, about finding common solutions to common problems and to bring innovation. Gaia works with her Swiss counterparts. We have projects in the poster that work all over Europe in transnational manner, in cross-border manner, and we find that that is very effective. And it's a great resource that the European Union is offering to us. So I hope you can visit us and keep up the good work, Gaia.
Thank you.
Another question or another remark? Okay, thank you.
Yes. Well, first and foremost, thank you. And it seems to be great work for sure. I have a question about the tangible, intangible aspects.
Yeah.
That
What do you mean?
we live in this world where we need data, KPIs, impacts, resources, finances, the intangible aspect of it. I think it's beautiful, but how do you work with this, with it?
With intangible, we mean especially the literary research. So all this collection of writers and poets that have described in years the landscape, and we would like to also make accessible the information of what they write about. And so one of the idea will be to put this seeds with like a vocal teller of the words used by the poets and writers along these itineraries. So the interest is to integrate literature and also the itineraries route.
Other remarks about this project, but also maybe about the others? So we will conclude now. And I hope if you have mountains in your destination or beaches or heritage or forest, you have been inspired by this really inspiring presentation. And don't hesitate to meet them after the session. Now we have 10 minutes before the next sessions, so we are on time. Congratulations, and thank you for that. And see you in the next sessions and for the last plenary afterwards. Thank you very much.